friends, thanks for joining us. We have for you today a video all about concealing and color correcting.
Yep, today is Mind Over Makeup's Mind Your Own Beeswax, which teaches you how to use concealer to remove blotches, blemishes, discolorations in the skin so that you can use your other makeup more effectively.
That's right. Before we start, make sure you do not miss any of our interactive opportunities. Subscribe down below so you don't miss anything in any of our series, since we do so many different things. If you want to follow us on social media, that will be right down here. And comment below if you have other ways that you conceal or that we aren't talking about here. I really only have a few ways, so make sure you comment below. Let me know.
And actually, we are going to be starting with the concealer. We have here a yellow and a green.
It's more like a color corrector. It's not really a concealer. This is the Physicians Formula Mineral Wear Talc-Free Cushion Corrector and Primer Duo. Oh, and I did want to tell you that so far all I've used on my skin is just a base primer. I haven't used anything else. This is all this. Normally I don't use this. I bought this just for this video so that we could talk about what it's like. I also just really love the packaging. I had, when it was a cushion foundation, I had the same one in blue. I just think it's really cool. It's like a paint cushion. And then it just comes with a little brush, which we will not be using because I like to use my hands. And so this is what it looks like on the inside. One side is green and the other side is yellow. So why don't you go ahead and tell me how we're supposed to be using this?
The color correcting concealers use 4 different colors. You have the yellow one, which is intended to remove dark circles. You have the green and blue ones, which is to remove red areas. And you'll want to probably use the green one if you have warmer skin tones, and the blue ones if you have cooler skin tones.
Well, I normally have cooler skin tones, so the blue probably would have been better for me, but for the purpose of this demonstration, we're just going to use the green. And I'm going to use the green probably right here. I have a little bit of redness here and on my nose and here and my chin. And then I'm going to use the yellow just right here under my eyes a little bit. As you can see, they are a little puffy. I've had some allergic stuff going on lately, so they are a little bit puffier than normal. So I'm going to go ahead and use that here while he talks more about this.
When you talk about the purple one, the purple takes the sallow skin complexions, the more yellow ones, and it makes it a little bit more brighter. That way, it's basically just balancing it out with different kind of brightness.
The reason why I'm using my finger with this is just because I feel like for me personally, it gives a better coverage. You can see it. You can see it right now. That's totally fine. I want you to see it because I'm going to put foundation on over it, which is going to blend it out a little bit more. But I'm just using the finger because I feel like it gives a more precise coverage and doesn't blend away a lot of what I'm trying to do here.
When we were talking about the optics of the skin and how you use foundation, this is very much a similar thing as the underlayer of painting, because what is going on is the light is going to hit the foundation and the other layers of makeup, going to go through that, and then it's going to hit this color correcting concealer, and then it's going to hit your skin. So it's basically changing all those optics and colors before it passes through the layer of the foundation. That's why you want to be putting on the color correcting ones beforehand, before you put on foundation. The concealers tend to be a little bit more pigmented than foundations are, but sometimes the normal foundations, the normal concealers, the ones that aren't color correcting, will just be a more pigmented version of it. So you're also using that around the nose. What was very interesting, I found as I was looking through through a lot of this information, is that concealers are starting to be used more and more by men as well.
Yes.
Not just in theatrical aspects, but also in just normal everyday wear. This is one of those spots where men can use makeup, and I don't think anybody's really going to fault them for it. Over the years, there has been many different applications for makeup that aren't just, well, I'm going to make myself look slightly more pretty or to deceive people. The medicine is actually a field that cosmetics was considered in for a long time. Let me see if I can say this name right. Abu al-Qasim al-Zawahi, also known as Abul Qasis, wrote a 24-volume medical book that one of those volumes was entirely dedicated to the medicine of cosmetics. So trying to hide and make you feel better about yourself was kind of part of medicine to them.
Right now, since I have all of the color correction on, I'm going to go ahead and put a foundation layer on it. I'm using my definitely old standby. I love this foundation. It's my favorite drugstore. It's the Rimmel 25-hour lasting finish with comfort serum. It just makes my skin look really nice, natural, and smooth. I am wearing the shade, I must looked at the bottom, it was like July. I'm wearing the shade 91 Light Ivory. This I probably have been using for a long time, and I probably need to get rid of it because I have another one standing by and it's getting kind of old. Also, the little pump, which does not normally come with it, I got from Beauty MP. I will leave the link down below for you as well. You can get pumps for all of your foundations that don't have it, which is really awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my layer of foundation, and then we'll come right back. I've only put on foundation, I did my brows and my mascara, but other than that I haven't really put anything else on my face at this point. And now we're going to get into the actual concealers. So well actually let me tell you first what concealers I have so I can kind of tell you the different types. Now from your research, what types have you come across?
There are 4 different kinds of primer concealers. You have powder, which is what I believe well, no, that was what our concealer was, and the color correcting concealer. There's powder, there's liquid, there's stick, and there's cream. And each of them are for different textures of skin, how oily your skin is, how dry it is. Different ones will work better for different things.
Okay. If
you have acne-prone skin, which she does not, she's lucky. Apparently all of those genes went to me, so...
yeah, but you got the lashes and I didn't. So there was a trade-off.
I got the lashes, yeah.
I got good skin and bad lashes.
You can't have everything, I guess.
You really can't.
So it's good for breakout-prone skin, and it's also good for oily and sensitive skin, where the others tend to be a little bit better for the drier skins, and the stick is kind of in the middle there. All of those tend to build from a medium to a more full build when you build up on them. However, powders are a little bit less opaque than the other formats, so they will be buildable from very low to a lot higher. So
here is my bigger problem when it comes to concealer. For me, I don't need a lot of concealer at all. I don't have a lot of blemishes. I don't have to cover a lot of stuff up. I do have these bags underneath my eyes, and my problem has always been when people use the concealer to lighten their under eye area, I would put it on and it would basically settle into the creases of my bags and make my bags more pronounced. So for all intents and purposes, I do not wear concealer for that point. I look worse when I wear concealer. However, there are some concealers that I've tried lately that do work for me, so I want to show those off before we get into our next point. So the one that I used to use a lot was the NYX HD concealer. I use the shade Fair. This does work, but I only use this if I need to conceal something not under my eyes. I feel like this is pretty close to NARS. I've never tried NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, but everyone swears by it. I feel like I've heard the consistency is very close to that, so if you're looking for a drugstore brand of like a more of a creamy type concealer, then this would be it for you. So I got this. It was fairly cheap. I think it was like $6. So this might work for you. One that I had been hearing a lot about that I wanted to get, and I'm glad I waited actually, is the Benefit Boing Concealer. Now, when it first came out, I did not try it, but everyone was like, "That's amazing, you need to try it." But I said, I don't want to spend that much for something that I know is going to settle into my creases, so I never did. So then a couple weeks ago, I was shopping on Ulta, and one of their gift with purchase was the new concealer, and this is the airbrush concealer. And it has, we went to Sephora and we got my makeup done. For fun, and also to pick up some new techniques and things like that. So she used this on my face also, and I said, I just got this. Why do you think this is so good? And she said it was because there was more moisturizer put into it, so it helped hydrate a little bit more. And I was kind of like, well, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I'm a combination skin, so I'm oily here and I'm dry right here, which she said is pretty much normal. That's what almost everybody has, unless you're very, very oily. So I use this concealer. I've used it a couple times and I am in love. It does not settle into my creases at all. I tried to get another sample size when we went to Sephora, but they were sold out and I was so sad. This is probably something that I will be purchasing the full size of once I finish, which will probably be in a long time because it lasts a very long time. If you can get this in a set, do it. Just get this. I mean, just do it. This is amazing. Okay, so if you want a cream, definitely get this one. So the second thing I tried that I had not tried before was I wanted to branch out with more mineral foundations and concealers. So I bought a kit. I got this kit. This is the Bare Minerals Up Close and Beautiful 30-Day Complexion Starter Kit, which was about 20 bucks. To give you an idea of the value of this, a full-size Bare Minerals foundation, powder foundation, is about $20. So for the price of one of those, you're getting a deluxe size of these 30-day supply, right? What this comes with is actually kind of cool. It comes with a mattifying primer, which is what you're supposed to use with foundation. It comes with the original broad spectrum foundation. I have the shade Fairly Light, and it comes with this one, which is the original Mineral Veil powder, which you're supposed to use to basically set everything after. And then it also comes with the concealer, which I have in Bisque, which is, of course, you can see it's a smaller size. It's a little bit smaller. And it comes with two brushes. So you have a powder one. You can tell I've used it. There goes the powder. To just buff out the two different powders. And then you have the flat brush, which you can use for the concealer itself. When I used this, I was amazed at how it made my skin feel. Not only are the ingredients in Bare Minerals typically a lot better for you, but I put this on and I was like, look, there's this like glow right here. It looks really seamless. I haven't used these two in conjunction with each other. I don't know if I need to, but this is also good. So if you're looking for something, I'm going to put this one on right now so you can kind of see how it looks when he talks a little bit more. But if you are looking for something that wants to be a more natural finish, this is your go-to right here.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, when we are talking about concealers, one of the earliest ways of concealing issues with the skin was actually used in ancient Egypt. They used a combination of beeswax, oils, and other ingredients to fill in any cracks and any discolorations in the skin. And this method continued to be used for pretty much all of time until we came up with modern chemical versions of it. And there were times where people gathering around the fire at night, kind of doing their cooking or eating, just being together, they'd be too close to the fire and the beeswax would start to melt and drip off of their face. And it was kind of embarrassing, as you could imagine. So when you had these kind of groupings and gatherings of people, if somebody was really up in your face looking at you, it was almost like they were trying to find a point where your wax was melting off. And that's where we get the phrase, mind your own beeswax.
Oh, interesting.
It all comes from our cosmetics. And trying to fill in some of those, also scars as well, has been fixed with a lot of those chemicals and things. But there's another guy who found a better way during World War I. He used tattoos. So he would either go in there and tattoo a skin tone directly in to the scar, or he would make a tattoo around the scar to hide it.
Interesting.
He also used the same method going in on the lips and in the cheeks, adding pink tones to give you permanent lipstick.
Interesting.
This guy's name was George Burchett, and he was doing all this cosmetic tattooing in the 20s. I don't know why we haven't heard more of this, because that kind of seems like a really interesting idea for those people who don't like doing their makeup every day.
Yeah, I mean, you can do everything now. You can tattoo on your eyebrows, or, you know, whatever you want, you can tattoo it on. So yeah, I'm interested. Why? Yeah. I have done the concealer. I do need to powder, although we asked the person who was doing my makeup, we said, do you need to set the Benefit concealer with a powder? And she said she wouldn't. She just would do an overall all-over face one, because you don't need to bake it or anything like that, because it won't work as well than if you use this, because of the moisture in it. It just really needs to be an airbrushed look. So what do you think of how I did?
I think that we do have the darkened circles being brought out a little bit more with this color, and I think once we get some eye look going on, it will all kind of be balanced out.
Oh, so you're saying there's more black in circles now?
No, there's less black. Oh. It's brought it out as in like it's made it less recessed in the area.
So it's lightened. That's what he's saying.
Yes, because the dark goes back. But
I did put a little bit of it right here. I don't know if you can tell, just to highlight a little bit more as we go. So thank you so much for watching us today. Make sure you join us on Wednesdays, Fridays.
Sometimes Sundays.
Till then,
stay safe.
Bye-bye.